receiving the care he needed. He spent the next 2 months in the cardiac ICU. Because of COVID, we couldn't visit the hospital, so instead we relied on the telephone, calling 3 times a day for updates during this exhausting 2-month period. To this day, the sound of on-hold music played during phone calls still causes my heart to beat too quickly, leaving me expecting bad news. During the same time, with no explanation at all, I experienced an abrupt ending to a lifelong friendship. A friend I'd known for decades simply stopped communicating with me. And it all culminated in my own breast cancer diagnosis shortly thereafter. The diagnosis felt impossible to comprehend amidst everything else. But in that moment, all I could do was acknowledge to whatever God was listening that I had zero control over any of it. And then I fully surrendered. All of this, dear friends, occurred within a 10-month span of time. But here's what I also came to know during that same time frame. I am deeply appreciated and loved. My community spans the entire world, and from one pole to another, my community showed up with deep empathy and kindness when I needed it most. Even, or in spite of not knowing what to ask for, I got exactly what I needed. The recognition of this beautiful truth is a microjoy that could easily have gone unnoticed while I dwelled deep inside of my own grief. The truest of friends sit alongside us through all of it. And sometimes they show up under the guise of weird cat memes, rogue bouquets of flowers left on a doorstep, simply stated I love yous, and a whole lot of off-color jokes. Having friends who inherently understood me well enough to know that humor could temporarily break the spell of my grief, that too is a microjoy. I still have a whole lot to be deeply grateful for. Losing so much so quickly was devastating. But that doesn't change what I do have. A deeply loving husband, ridiculously funny siblings, a business built on forging connections, an inspiring and brightly colored home, hard-won, honest friendships, vast community, and adorable, though highly disrespectful, cats. Appreciating that love and loss are close dance partners in this lifetime, that lesson is also a powerful microjoy. Once we've journeyed the depth of loss, whether physical, emotional, tangible, or intangible, from the core of our being comes the capacity to seize every experience differently, to become more curious and empathetic, to live more fully and be less afraid. We already know what it means to fall to our knees in despair and pray to whoever is listening to please, please make it all stop. And in those times, we understand what a radical act it is to observe microjoys, to boldly choose moments of reprieve and joy, even in the midst of heartbreak. One foot in front of the other as we slowly trudge forward, or perhaps even as we stand in this moment, perfectly still. Microjoys often emerge from the muck, similar to how a lotus flower resurrects itself out of the mud, over and over again. The beauty of this flower is that its roots are bound in the mud that it needs in order to bloom. Its perpetually beautiful reemergence is born of muck, literally. And in many ways, so is ours. Microjoys transform the narrative of what it means to experience joy from something ethereal and often unattainable on many days to a phenomenon that is genuine and deeply accessible for everyone, always. In a world fueled by the constant buzz of outsized affirmations and a more is more mentality of happiness, microjoys are the polar opposite. Rather than loudly proclaiming who we are and what we want in an effort to seek out happiness, microjoys simply ask us to notice what is squarely in front of us, to acknowledge and appreciate the mundane beauty of what is already here, in the present. Microjoys teach us to hone our ability to live within the gray, neither perfect nor imperfect, and still find beauty there, regardless of what may be happening outside of ourselves and outside of our immediate control. We perceive so much of the world in extremes and often opposites. Good or bad, rich or poor, right or wrong, happiness or sadness, either or. But rarely do we perceive things as both, all of it, this and that. Nonetheless, that exact place